A new step in protecting India's cultural heritage, Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch the revamped Gyan Bharatam mission on 9 June. Manuscript preservation and digitization to be promoted. New COVID-19 variant JN1 found in Hong Kong, Singapore and China. Countries issue alerts. The new variant capable of rapid transmission. WHO awards India certificate for elimination of trachoma disease. India has ended trachoma as a public health challenge. Trachoma is related to infectious eye disease. The World Heart 2025 Obesity and Cardiovascular Disease Report released. Obesity in adults has quadrupled since 1990. By 2050, 2 out of 3 adults will suffer from obesity. President Draupadi Murmu honored lyricist Gulzar and Sanskrit scholar Jagadguru Rambhadracharya with the Gyanpith Award. The 58th Gyanpith Award was given for the year 2023. Jagadguru Rambhadracharya is the founder and head of Tulsi Peeth in Chitrakoot. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the revised Gyan Bharatam mission on 9 June 2025. It was earlier called the National Mission for Manuscripts. This mission is a major effort in the country for the identification, preservation, securing in digital form and sharing of manuscripts. The Ministry of Culture had announced this mission in the Union Budget 2025-26. Its main objective is to promote the Sanskrit language and India's ancient knowledge system, especially preserving rare and important texts in digital form and preparing their metadata information will be the main work of this mission. Its goal is to survey over 1 crore manuscripts from academic institutions, museums, libraries, and private collections across the country, as well as to list them and provide easy access to people. Earlier, the budget for this mission was Rs 3.5 crore, which has now been increased to Rs 60 crore. It is to be noted that the National Mission for Manuscripts was started to discover India's old and valuable manuscripts, preserve them and secure them in digital form. It was initiated in the year 2003 under the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. For information, manuscripts are ancient documents written by hand. These can be related to texts, religious scriptures, history, science, art, and literature. They were written on various materials such as palm leaves, leather, cloth, or paper. Recently, in Hong Kong, Singapore and China, a rapid increase has been seen in cases of the new COVID-19 variant JN1. This variant is one of the subtypes of Omicron and scientists consider it more contagious. In the JN1 variant, some new mutations have been found in the virus's spike protein, which make it more capable of spreading infection. Due to this variant, there has been a surge in COVID-19 cases in Hong Kong, because of which the health department there has increased vigilance. Meanwhile, in Singapore also, cases are rising due to this variant. However, the government there has tried to control the situation by tightening vaccination and health protocols. While in China too, cases of this variant have increased, which has heightened the concerns of health officials. According to scientists, the JN1 variant is still under complete investigation, but preliminary studies suggest that this variant may reduce the effectiveness of vaccines. Experts have advised people to wear masks, maintain social distancing, and continue COVID-19 testing and surveillance. In this situation, it could be challenging for other countries, including India and the world, because a more contagious variant can bring a new wave of infections. Recently, the World Health Organization (WHO) has certified India for the elimination of trachoma disease. This certificate has been given to India for successfully ending trachoma as a public health problem. Trachoma is an infectious disease that affects the surface of the eye and the inner surface of the eyelids, and if not treated in time, it can cause blindness. This disease generally spreads due to a lack of cleanliness and hygiene in poor and rural areas. It is to be noted that India has implemented extensive public health programs for the elimination of trachoma, which prioritize surveillance, community awareness, development of better water and sanitation facilities, and timely treatment. The Government of India's SAFE strategy, that is surgery, antibiotics, face wash and environmental improvement, has played an important role in preventing the spread of trachoma. For information, it is to be mentioned that this recognition by WHO is a major achievement in India's public health sector and also aids in the achievement of global health goals. The elimination of trachoma will also improve quality of life. India's success is an example for other developing countries as well. The Indian Coast Guard ICG's annual mission, Operation Olivia, has helped protect the nest of more than 698,000 olive ridley turtles at the mouth of the Rushikulya River in Odisha till February 2025. It is to be noted that Operation Olivia, conducted annually from November to May, is an important initiative of the ICG. Its objective is specifically to ensure safe nesting grounds for olive ridley turtles at Gahirmatha Beach and surrounding coastal areas of Odisha. It is noteworthy that over 8 lakh turtles come to this region every year. The record mass nesting at the mouth of the Rushikulya River in Odisha is proof of the continuous efforts of the ICG. It is to be noted that since the beginning of Operation Olivia, the ICG has conducted more than 5,387 surface patrol flights and 1,768 aerial surveillance missions. This has considerably reduced threats such as illegal fishing and habitat disruption. Speaking of olive ridley turtles, these turtles are carnivorous. They are named so because of their olive-colored hard shell. They are famous for their unique mass nesting or nest building called aribara. In this aribara, thousands of females gather on the same beach to lay eggs. Recently, scientists have discovered a new species of marine creature named Mosura fentoni. It is also called sea moth. It was a very small three-eyed predatory marine species which lived in the oceans about 506 million years ago. It is to be noted that Mosura fentoni is related to ancient marine creatures called radiodonts. Radiodonts are linked to creatures like insects, spiders, and crabs because they had jointed claws on their bodies. From the fossils of this species, it was found that their bodies had a total of 16 segments and they also had gills which allowed them to breathe underwater. The size of Mosura fentoni was about as big as a human finger. This discovery will help scientists understand the evolution of marine creatures, especially how these simple insect-like creatures gradually evolved into more complex forms. This discovery will prove important for the study of prehistoric marine life and biological evolution. Recently, the RBI, or the Reserve Bank of India, has amended the rules for investment in alternative investment funds. It is to be noted that RBI has proposed revised guidelines to reduce restrictions on investments. Alternative Investment Fund, or AIF, refers to any fund established or incorporated in India, which is a privately pooled investment vehicle. This fund pools money from sophisticated investors as per a defined investment policy for the benefit of its investors. It is noteworthy that funds governed by SEBI, Mutual Fund Regulations 1996, SEBI, Collective Investment Schemes Regulations 1999, are not included under AIF. In India, AIFs are classified into 3 categories based on their investment strategy, risk profile, and use of leverage. Category 1 AIFs invest in sectors considered socially or economically desirable by the government or regulators, such as startups, small and medium enterprises, infrastructure, and social ventures. Category 2 AIFs include private equity funds, real estate funds, and distressed asset funds. Meanwhile, Category 3 AIFs are designed for high-risk, high-return strategies. Recently, the World Heart Federation has released a report named the World Heart 2025 Obesity and Cardiovascular Disease. This report highlights the increasing problem of obesity worldwide and the lack of access to its treatment. According to the report, since 1990, obesity in adults has increased nearly fourfold. In the year 2022, about 878 million adults were found to be suffering from obesity, whereas in 1990, this number was only 194 million. It is estimated that by 2050, 2 out of 3 adults may be affected by overweight or obesity. According to the World Health Organization, obesity occurs when excess fat accumulates in the body, which can be a threat to health. Body mass index or BMI is used to measure obesity. If a person's BMI is 25 or more, they are considered overweight. And if it is 30 or above, they are said to be obese. To calculate BMI, a person's weight in kilograms is divided by the square of their height in meters. For information, according to the National Family Health Survey 5, 24% of women and 23% of men in India are affected by obesity. Recently, the President of India presented the 58th Gyanpith Award. It is to be noted that Jagadguru Rambhadracharya and Gulzar have been selected for the 58th Gyanpith Award. It is noteworthy that Vinod Kumar Shukla has been nominated as the recipient of the 59th Gyanpith Award 2024. Jagadguru Rambhadracharya is a prestigious Sanskrit scholar and Hindu spiritual leader. He is the founder and head of Tulsi Peeth in Chitrakoot, which is a prominent religious and literary institution. He has composed more than 240 works, including 4 Sanskrit epics. He was honored with the Padma Vibhushan in 2015. Whereas speaking of Sampuran Singh Kalra, also known as Gulzar, he is a famous Urdu poet, lyricist, author and filmmaker. He has made a lasting contribution to Hindi cinema with films such as Machis, Andhi and Koshish. It should be noted that he is a recipient of the Padma Bhushan Sahitya Akademi Award, Dada Saheb Phalke Award, Oscar, Grammy, and 5 National Film Awards. It is important to note that the Gyanpith Award was established in 1961. It was first awarded to Asha Purna Devi in 1965. It is India's oldest and highest literary honor. This award is given for outstanding contribution in the field of Indian literature, in English and various Indian languages. Gyanpith Award recipients are given a cash prize of Rs 11 lakh, a statue of Goddess Saraswati, and a citation in honor of their literary excellence. Recently, Aadhaar authentication transactions have crossed the figure of 150 billion. Based on data up to the end of April 2025, the Unique Identification Authority of India or UIDAI has shared this information. It is notable that alongside authentication, Aadhaar's eKYC service has also shown remarkable growth. eKYC is the abbreviation for Electronic Know Your Customer. It is worth mentioning that adoption of UIDAI's AI-powered face authentication solution is increasing service delivery further. The Unique Identification Authority of India is a statutory authority. Its establishment was done under the provisions of the Aadhaar Act 2016 by the Government of India on 12 July 2016. UIDAI was established with the objective of issuing a unique identification number called Aadhaar to all residents of India, so that duplication and fake identity by UID could be ended. Along with this, the identity of citizens could be verified and authenticated easily and at affordable cost. It is noteworthy that the first UID number was issued on 29 September 2010 to a resident of Nandurbar, Maharashtra. On 12 September 2015, the Unique Identification Authority of India was affiliated with the then Ministry of Communications and Information Technologies Department of Electronics and Information Technology, or DAITI. Recently, the Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition, Lima 2025, was organized in Malaysia. Defense Minister of State Sanjay Seth represented India at this exhibition. A dedicated Indian pavilion was established at this exhibition. This pavilion showcased the growing strength and capabilities of India's defense sector, reflecting the country's focus on self-reliance and innovation in defense production. It is noteworthy that several defense public sector undertakings or DPSUs such as Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, Bharat Dynamics Limited, BEML, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Gliders India Limited participated in this exhibition. These institutions demonstrated cutting-edge technologies and indigenous advancements in aerospace and maritime systems. It is notable that key defense assets from India, including the Dornier aircraft and an Indian Navy ship, were also included. Speaking of the Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition, Lima, it was first held in 1991. It is to be noted that Lima is one of the largest maritime and aerospace exhibitions held in the Asia-Pacific region. This exhibition serves as an important platform for strategic dialogue, defense diplomacy, and technological innovation. It is noteworthy that the 17th edition of Lima was organized this year. That's all for now in this bulletin. After the news, let's take a quick look at 5 questions related to the bulletin. Question 1. Consider the following statements regarding the revised Gyan Bharatam mission. 1. It was started in the year 2003. 2. Its nodal ministry is the Ministry of Culture. 3. Its objective is to promote the Sanskrit language and India's ancient knowledge system. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Question 2. Consider the following statements regarding trachoma. 1. It is an infectious disease which generally affects the lungs. 2. This disease is most common in developed countries. 3. India government's SAVE strategy has played an important role in its elimination. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Question 3. Consider the following statements regarding Operation Olivia. 1. It was started in the 1980s by the Indian Coast Guard. 2. This campaign was conducted in the Gahirmatha coast near the mouth of the Rushikulya river. 3. Through this, more than 8 lakh olive ridley turtles were saved. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Question 4. Consider the following statements regarding Mosura fintoni. 1. It is a very small three-eyed predatory marine species. 2. It is also called sea moth. 3. It is related to ancient marine creatures called radiodonts. How many of the above statements are incorrect? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Question 5. Consider the following statements regarding the Gyan Peeth Award. 1. It was established in 1961. 2. It was first awarded to Asha Purna Devi in 1965. 3. This award is given only for outstanding contribution in the English language. How many of the above statements are incorrect? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Recently, the Ministry of Home Affairs Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center (I4C) has launched a new E0 FIR initiative. Its launch has been done as a pilot project in Delhi. The purpose of this initiative is to register complaints of cyber financial crimes and to make it easier so that prompt action can be taken. In this, if any complainant reports financial loss of more than 10 lakh rupees on the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal or helpline number 1930, then it will be automatically registered as a zero FIR. After this, the FIR will be immediately sent to the concerned regional cybercrime police stations. Recently, the International Energy Agency has released the Global Electric Vehicle Outlook 2025. It states that in 2024, 1 in every 4 cars sold globally was electric. Meanwhile, China leads in the sale of electric cars, accounting for almost 50% of electric car sales worldwide. Asia and Latin America, especially Thailand, Vietnam, and Brazil, are developing as growth hubs for electric vehicles. Recently, the Bihar government has renamed Gaya city to Gaya Ji. This change has been made to respect local sentiments and the deep religious significance of the city. Gaya is one of Bihar's major religious sites and holds special importance in Hinduism. Devotees come from far and wide for the tradition of Pind Dan here, which is performed for the peace of ancestors' souls. Gaya is also known as Pitrupur. The naming of Gaya Ji will strengthen the spiritual and cultural identity of the city and promote religious tourism. Recently, writer Banu Mushtaq was honored with the International Booker Prize for her short story collection Heart Lamp. This work by Banu Mushtaq was originally written in Kannada language, translated into English by Deepa Bhashti. Heart Lamp contains 12 short stories written by Mushtaq over 3 decades from 1990 to 2023, poignantly portraying the struggles of Muslim women living in South India. It may be noted that the International Booker Prize was started in 2005 and was earlier known as the Man Booker Prize. It is awarded annually to literary works written in English or translated into English from other languages. Recently, the Shirui Lili festival was celebrated in Manipur. This festival was held after 2 years of conflict in Manipur. The Shirui Lili festival is organized by the Manipur Tourism Department. It is named after Manipur's state flower, the Shirui lily. The event is held every year in Ukhrul district of the state, which is the native place of the Tangkhul Naga community. The festival is celebrated in honor of the delicate hills and the endangered Shirui lily, which blooms only on the Shirui hills. Recently, India successfully organized the second Blue Talks ahead of the third United Nations Ocean Conference. The event was held in New Delhi under the Ministry of Earth Sciences along with the embassies of France and Costa Rica. Its purpose is to prepare a strong foundation for the third United Nations Ocean Conference. The third United Nations Ocean Conference will be held from 9 to 13 June 2025 in Nice, France. Both France and Costa Rica will co-host this conference. The theme of this conference is to accelerate action for the conservation and sustainable use of oceans and to organize all stakeholders. Recently, Gujarat completed its 16th lion population census, with the latest count revealing the presence of 891 Asiatic lions, indicating an unprecedented increase. This increase in lion numbers is attributed to Project Lion. It may be noted that Project Lion was initiated in 2020. Its aim is to promote the conservation of Asiatic lions. Under this, habitats are being redeveloped. Also, radio collars and cameras are being used for monitoring lions. Asiatic lions are protected under the vulnerable category of IUCN. Recently, astrophysicist Professor Jayant Narlikar passed away. He was born in 1938 in Kolhapur, Maharashtra. He received his early education from Banaras Hindu University. Professor Narlikar's scientific contribution was especially in cosmology. His main contribution was the Hoyle-Narlikar theory, which presents an alternative theory to the Big Bang model. This theory introduced a new perspective on the development of the universe. He was also the founder and director of the Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics. He was honored with Padma Awards and the UNESCO Kalinga Prize.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.